they had the words up there on that little strip.
Well,
when
I
first
see
set it
those
down.
cash
That way
balances.
nobody will get the words. I've seen issues where people don't know the word.
I'll call, I emailed to today, but I'll call them tomorrow. I got to watch it. So it'll all be taken care of.
Okay, by my watch, it is 6 o'clock. It's time to call the meeting to order. And I'd like to welcome each and every one of you here. And at this point, Alan, would you lead us in our invocation, please?
Our Lord and our Heavenly Father, we thank you very much for this day, the rain that thou hast given us. It's good for us, and we thank you for it. We pray that thou will continue to be with us, be with the business that we are about to transact. May it be in your will, and we ask a special blessing for our servicemen and women in the harm's way. Be with them, we pray. These things we ask in thy name and for thy sake. Amen.
If everyone would please rise.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Could we help you?
Is this the Kiwanis meeting?
No, afraid not. This town council meeting.
Sorry, isn't they said it was at the town hall for Conley Springs?
The town hall, this is Conley Springs Road. The town hall of Conley Springs is about 12 miles away from here.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, I have, I trust everyone's had an opportunity to look over their agenda. Are there any adjustments or additions need to be made at this time?
Make a motion that we approve the agenda presented to us.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and do the approval of the minutes for the swearing in of officers. Also, I trust everyone's had an opportunity to look over the minutes. There again, are there any adjustments or additions that need to be made at this time?
I move that the minutes be approved as written.
Okay, we have a motion. The second, all in favor signify by saying aye. Okay, at this time, our men and women survived election. It is time to swear them in for another 4-year term. It's a earlier term.
Yeah.
Cheryl is not going to be here, so she's going to have to be sworn in later time. If y'all would step down, Logan will swear you all in.
Okay, we'll start now.
Can we do this together?
I, Alan Stewart,
I, Alan Stewart,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
as a member of the Town Council for the Town of Cages Mountain,
as a member of the Town Council of the Town of Cages Mountain,
North Carolina, so help me God.
North Carolina, so help me God.
All right, Jeff. I, Jeff Bullock,
I, Jeff Bullock,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain the Constitution
I will support and maintain the Constitution,
and laws of the United States
laws of the United States,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office
I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office,
as a member of the Town Council for the Town of Cages Mountain,
member of the Town Council, Town of Cages Mountain,
North Carolina, so help me God.
North Carolina, so help me God.
Well, that's good for 4 years.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you, Logan. Recognition of persons to be heard. Jason isn't here. So with that being said, I've been anxious to hear Ronnie Crump's audit report anyway, and since the news topic isn't here, you take careful notes and provide her with this, okay? Ronnie, is you here to address us on this?
Well, I appreciate the council having me back again this year, and I know when we were here last year talking about the year ending June 30th, 2014, that was a tough year. A lot of fronts, but this year is, you know, on my side at least, everything just seems to be going well. I mean, financially, there was an increase in net assets for the year. There was an increase in revenue in the general fund and the water and sewer fund. And there was a decrease in expenses in the general fund. And an overall increase in cash of over $100,000, which, you know, it's been a while since we've seen that. So we'll try to go through the report, and I'll point out what I think is the highlights, and if anybody's got any questions, I'll try to answer. Sure. The financial condition is excellent. If you look at page 11, it's a balance sheet of all funds that the town has. You can see down at the bottom of the page that assets are in excess of liabilities of almost $6 million, $5,846,000 as of the end of the year. That's an increase of $16,000 over the prior year, and included in that increase is depreciation expense of $130,000. So if you add back depreciation, which is a non-cash expense, it would be a $146,000 increase, which, like I say, we hadn't had an increase in a few years, and we certainly haven't had an increase like that. Cash and investments in all the funds up at the top of the page, cash and equivalents of $1,860,000, and then restricted cash of $72,000 is a total cash of $1,933,000. We were, as of June 30th, we were approaching $2 million in total cash again. And that was an increase of $129,000 over the prior year, which if you look, comparing that to where we were at June 30th, 2014, we had a $5,800 decrease in cash for the year. So,
Deficit, you mean?
well, cash decreased during 2014 by $5,800, and we increased it by $129,000 in this year. So that, you know, that's a big change, you know, for a small town in India. Page 12 and 13 is the statement of activities comparable to an income statement. Governmental units call it statement of activities. If you look at the top of page 12, you can see the what it costs to provide the governmental activities, which is the general government, administration and building, and environmental protection. The total cost of this was $471,427. And we paid for that. If you look on page 13 in the governmental activities column down at the bottom of the page, with total revenues of $611,550, which is the $606 plus the $5,300 that was transferred to the sewer fund. And that's made up of sales tax, $506,000, franchise tax of $91,000, interest earnings a little over $200,000, and miscellaneous income of $13,000. The cost of providing water and sewer back over on page 12 was $265,231. But now that includes depreciation of $119,000. The sewer revenue was the next column of $141,000. And if you take back over on page 13, there was a $134,000 increase in the governmental funds and a $118,000 decrease in the sewer, which is almost exactly what the depreciation was. So looking at that, without depreciation, sewer broke even if we don't factor in depreciation expense. But even with depreciation expense, adding those two numbers together, we get an overall increase of $16,000 over the prior year, which again is just, you know, really good. Moving on, page 17, I wanted to point out to you, this statement is a comparison of the original budget to the final budget, and then a comparison of the final budget to the actual amount. departments. There weren't any budget amendments, so the original budget and final budget numbers are the same. But if you look at revenues, revenues came in at $611,000. We budgeted $514,000, so revenues came in $97,000 above what we budgeted. Expenditures budgeted $506,000. The actual expenditures were $466,000, which was $40,000 less than what we budgeted. So revenues $97,000 over, expenditures $40,000 under, left us with a variance, a positive variance compared to the budget of $137,000 over the original budgeted amounts. And again, if you look down at the bottom, revenues and other sources over expenditures, we had a $139,000 increase in fund balance in the general fund, and comparing that to 6/30/14, we had an $87,000 decrease. So you can see what a turnaround this year was. Page 18, 19, and 20 is a summary of the sewer fund. Page 18 is a balance sheet for the sewer fund. Cash is almost exactly where it was at the end of the year last year, cash of $84,000. The big item is capital assets, which that's all the sewer lines that we put in over the years, less depreciation. That's $3,660,000, which gives us total assets of $3,778,000 at the end of the year. We had payables of $9,100, which leaves us with the net assets in the sewer fund of almost $3.8 million. The revenue statement, income statement for the sewer funds on page 19. Sewer revenue was $141,000 for the year, which was an increase over the prior year. The expenditures.
Excuse me, how much increase over last year, can you tell us?
It's a statement in the back that has that number.
That would be directly attributable to
$115,000 last year, prior year, so about a $26,000 increase.
And
That's
that's
on 10 years.
increase we figured on, with these other folks on.
That's good.
You know, that's $26,000, you know, that's almost a 20% increase over the
Does
prior
that
year,
count
which
the
is
corner?
pretty significant.
Does that count the corner also?
It's all revenue in the sewer, I don't, what is it called?
He's talking, we did some repair work on Connor Circle as far as what the bottom line is.
Oh, well, those expenditures, yeah. Now, you know, expenditures were up a little bit. I think some of the maintenance expenditures were up from the prior year, but bottom line, even with those expenditures being up, the revenue being up, the bottom line was almost exactly where it was the prior year. So,
Huh? What, 26,000?
Connor Circle total, or just for this year or last year?
Just the repair that we had done a couple months ago.
Total it was 43, but that was over 2 budgets.
but it was 26 for the year that we're looking at.
26 for the year we're looking at. I believed it was 22 the year we were looking at.
But the revenue's covered it, the increase in revenue.
Yeah,
Covered what those repairs
yeah.
were. Moving on through the statements, pages 21 through 36 are the notes to the statements, which is basically just a summary of accounting policies. Page 28 and 29, we didn't have any fixed asset additions in the general fund or the sewer fund for the year. Depreciation in the general fund was $10,000, which $10,980, which was the same that it was the prior year, and also sewer depreciation on page 28 was $119,000, which is the same number it was the prior year because we didn't have any fixed asset additions. Page 37 and 38 is a summary of the general fund comparison to budget, and also there's a comparison to the prior year over in the right-hand column. And you can see total revenues for the year was $611,000 for 2015, as opposed to $556,000 for 2014, which is an increase of $55,000. And where all that increase was sales tax was up $43,000 over the prior year, and franchise tax was $1,800 over the prior year. And then miscellaneous revenue, which included some grant revenue that we had, was $13,000, was up $10,000 over the prior year. So expenditures were up, revenues were up, and expenditures across the board were down. Administrative was down $329,000 as opposed to $363 from the prior year. The savings here was insurance and bonds were about half of what they were the prior year, $12,000 as opposed to $22,000 in the prior year. Salaries were down $31,000 as opposed to $50 for the prior year. And the money paid to Caldwell County stayed the same, which is the biggest item in administration, $224,000. Building and grounds were down, and the reason building and grounds were down, the maintenance was almost exactly the same, but we didn't have the capital outlay, which we had the parking lot in the prior years. We didn't have any capital outlay, so that's why building and grounds were down. And public works, which is basically garbage pickup and recycling, was down $4,700 from 15 compared to 14. So overall, expenditures were down $78,000. Revenues were up $55,000, which left us with a increase of $133,000 to the bottom line in the general fund. The rest of the report, page 39, is just the interest earnings in the capital reserve fund. And then we've already talked about the water and sewer. Pages 40 and 41 do have the comparative numbers from the prior year, so you can see what the numbers were in comparison. But like I say, it was just, different between night and day from a financial standpoint. And the other thing that I want to point out to you, the letters that I give you each year, we always talk about segregation of duties. Well, that's not in there this year because of using council of government to do the accounting, because there is some segregation of duties now. So we don't have to report anymore that, that's not here because somebody else is preparing the checks and then they come back here for approval and, they're signed here, so. Nothing but good things.
It sounds like a totally different town this year compared to last.
It seems like everything's going pretty smooth.
Well, has anybody got any questions for Ron?
I have two, Mr. Crump, and one of which is, how do we compare with communities of our size, number one. Number two, what, if any, recommendations do you have that this council take under their wings to act on?
As far as comparison to other towns, the biggest thing that I've seen, small towns, this year sales tax is up, so revenue's up across the board, and I have seen an increase in most small towns this year, which that hadn't been there in the prior year. Some of the other towns I do that pay law enforcement expense is just, there's no cap to it. It continues to go up. So towns that don't pay for law enforcement generally are showing a fund balance increase, whereas towns that do have law enforcement, any increase in revenue that they have is getting eaten up by the law enforcement expenses. As far as recommendations, what you've done this year, I guess the biggest thing, what I've heard, I've met with Andrea down at the Council of Government a couple times, and I've talked with Logan some, and I know there's been some discussion about bringing the accounting back in-house. And, I know that would save some money. There's no doubt that I think you're paying close to $500 a month for that. I'm not sure the exact amount. But you've got some controls there that you hadn't had in the past. And Andrea, they had some turnover at the first of the year. Doug was there, he left, she got stuff dropped in her lap and had to catch it up, so she got behind. But as far as going forward, I think she's doing an excellent job. And Logan says working with her, he's you know, it continues to get better and better. And you had enough savings, I mean, you had more savings in the decrease in insurance and decrease in some of the other expenses than what it's costing you to do that. So, yes, it could save you some money, but frankly, I don't know, unless everybody's on the same page, I don't know that I would do it, because I just think it's a lot better situation. If it's working for you, I think it's a good situation that you have now.
Are you speaking of our insurance rates are down because we're doing it this way?
No, I think your insurance is down.
Oh,
You shocked the insurance.
Oh, yeah, needless to say, we've made modifications.
I'm just saying you've saved in other areas
Yeah.
so that the money that you're paying out down there is not nearly as much as what you've saved in other areas.
Thank you.
Now, I know Logan told me that, I think it's getting better, but he wasn't getting the stuff back on a monthly basis like he would like to have. But I think that's improved as we're going forward. And that's something, you know, in the past, you really never had the information on a monthly basis. But I think you're close to getting it, at least only being 1 month behind, you can get a statement that shows where you are at any point in time. I mean, before 2015, it was a guess.
Well, I know you're,
One part of this we're nervous about was, they're gonna take us a long time we got the bills to them, and they got the checks back to us, the bill was late. And that was where we was having the biggest problem, but I hadn't heard Logan say anything about we're having that now. That was the biggest concern about, to start with, was that we were, you know, being behind on our bills.
It appeared, I mean, we looked, when we come through and do the, look for accounts payable, we look at all the bills that's paid after year end. So we looked at 3 months worth of bills. And it looks to me like all the bills are getting paid within 15 to 20 days after, you know, when they come in. I didn't see any bills that were being paid in August and September that were June bills. I mean, they're timely.
we're gonna have a retreat right at the first year and discuss several things, and that can be amongst them, but I'm just speaking for myself, not the rest of the council members. The reason I want to bring it back in-house is, you know, I think we can trust Logan. There was a reason why we went the route we did. And there's checks and balances, and quite honestly, I talked to Anthony, we are the only town in the U4 that uses them for, you know, check writing or their financial, whatever you want to say. So I feel like if other towns can handle it, then I don't think we would be the only town that could, you know. But like I said, that'll be something to discuss at another time. But the thing I'm proud of is, you know, you talk about our increase in cash on hand, more or less, or budget being in much better shape, in other words. But the sales tax, true, it only went up $43,000, but the positive is we, you know, we're in better shape by about triple that. And one of the things I'm most proud of is now I think we can get on with the business of maybe providing some services for our residents now, you know, which previously I don't know if people knew how painful it was. I mean, you've done our books, it was close. But now, with the increase in sales tax, and now I'm sure it'll be increased some more with this new legislation that passed, you know. And you know, just a lot of things. I just think that we can now get on with you know, serving the public like we should. Maybe not as quickly as they'd like, but at least serving the citizens like we should. And services, I know Jerry's wanting sewer. And, as a matter of finances, we had no money. So
Sewer's expensive.
it
It's
is
a proposition.
But you know, there again, that wouldn't happen overnight. But at least we're in a position now we can we can see that.
Oh, you know, you can put $100,000 back a year, and that'll take many years to, if you can get a matching grant again to do a project.
And there's also some CBDG funds, I understand, I think I got them letters correct, where there's no matching funds at all, with us, you know, something to look into. But, I don't know if anybody else got anything or not, but I'm really appreciative of the report and the good job you've done on it. Anybody else have anything?
Good job, and made it easy for us to look through it and understand it.
Well, it's, you know, how the information comes to you, and it just seems to be big improvement.
Yep. I feel the same. So, thank you so much, Ron. Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Thank you so much. Next on the agenda is, we've got a resolution to investigate 15 properties for voluntary annexation. Is that correct?
Yeah, so you've got an attachment 2, that's got all the properties who have presently applied for annexation, voluntary annexation. And then you have the resolution to instruct me to investigate the sufficiency of the application. So that's up to you guys.
And
How many more is there, excuse me, how many more is there besides these? That get us halfway through, or
Well, there was a total of 35 when I first did the project and looked.
35
At all.
households?
Right, yeah, 35 properties. So 15, and I've had 2 more come in since, after printing the agenda. So we're at 17 total, so half.
Since all these here said that they tried before, they actually put in for it and didn't.
No, about a third. I've said about 5, 4 to 5 have said that we've applied before or went through the process before. But they're more than happy to do it again.
they are aware that it wasn't the council that dropped the ball on this.
Right.
So,
If they weren't, they are now.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I do know one on the list in particular, and, you know, the one, next to last on the list. I personally remember helping them to, file annexation requests, so, anyway, it's just one more thing to get our house in order here, so. Everyone had opportunity to look over that. I guess I need council action.
I need a motion to instruct him to
According to the agenda.
investigate.
According to the agenda, yes.
I second that motion.
Did you make a motion? Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Let me ask, let me make a, before we vote on it,
Okay.
we are voting on those names that are included here.
Plus two more, correct?
No, just these 15.
No, because the resolution says between September 16th and October 21st.
So
So
it's-
that's, if we're approving this resolution, it's with that list of names.
Right, not the additional 2. I'll bring those once they actually bring the application back. But there's 2 that intend have picked up applications in the last 2 days, Monday and Friday.
Okay, so those 15 properties.
Right.
Call the question.
Okay. So, previous to the question, we had a motion and a second, asking voting to look into voluntary annexation request. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you so much. And Logan, will you address us on the final plan board member?
So Randy Simmons has expressed interest in being the 5th and final member of the planning board. That's long as you guys approve, then he'll be the fifth member.
He will approve us all this, correct?
Yes.
And I trust all the other members been contacted.
And let me go ahead and say this too. So we had planned on doing a meeting tomorrow night, but after I talked to several planners at the county and at Granite Falls, we need to push the planning board meeting back because their zoning recommendation is only good for 30 to 45 days. So what we're going to do is have their meeting probably in December and then have the final approval if all these properties meet their criteria for annexation in December and January.
Okay. And if you, I know originally there was a call for having it tomorrow night. You've made all the planning board members aware.
Right.
It's changed, correct? Okay, I personally think it's great everybody's coming back. Do you need a motion on that?
Vote on it, yeah.
Okay, I need a motion that we include Randy Simmons, and do you want to name the other four because they're all going to have to be sworn in?
Well, we voted on the other four at the last meeting.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I need a motion that we accept Randy Simmons as the fifth and final member of the planning board.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
A second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, thanks so much. Nothing else here but public comment period. We got some public here, right? Anybody in public will call me? Yes, not. Jeff, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Lloyd?
Well, I would like to follow up on the report that our accountants have given us. I think that's a good news report, and it's really the collective action of this council, led very well by Mayor Setzer, and the conduct of regular business by our town manager. And I think that's a feather in our collective hat. That's all I have.
Okay. Other than that, were we going to do the appointment of mayor pro tem and other duties tonight, or were we going to do that in December?
Well, I would wait until we have Cheryl sworn in for the next meeting.
Is that okay with everyone else? Okay. Okay, and I don't have anything either. It's music to my ears here, a report like this. It's we had a little rough stretch there, but it sounds like we're coming through it all right. And I certainly appreciate everyone's efforts, everyone. And I appreciate you working with us. I know I hope things are a little easier now. And so anyway, it's good night. Good night. So with that being said, the next meeting is not going to be November 3rd. I think it's going to be December 1st. Is it not, Logan?
December 1st.
December 1st. So December 1st at 6 p.m. Let me also remind everyone about the Christmas parties we got to attend. December 5th, the fire department Christmas party, and December 12th, our town's Christmas party. We have switched from a Friday to a Saturday to make it more convenient for some people to get off work and not be so pushed. So with that being said, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
But this right here, the EC leak,
Mhm.
do you guys have it? That is for someone who's wanting to codify our ordinances. And that is kind of like a informational pack on what that means and what it would do. But he's planning on being at our next meeting or January, so if you want to look through, do you have one?
He told me this afternoon on this, can you give us?
There it is. Yeah.
Of course, he's gonna share with us, but can you give us over here?
Oh, yeah, that's the letter.
Ask you a question on this.
Okay, go ahead.
Could you, I guess what we talked about before, that I'm going to see more things.
Yeah, no.
I thought I said that.
Yeah, and that's basically what she said, put in the letter.
Have you emailed yours yet?
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate it.
And then the other thing was this. This is just something that God sent, so I figured I'd pass it out. But it didn't have anything to do with the meeting.
They will, let me put in, on our Facebook page stuff that, the line's gonna be cleaned this week, or start Thursday. And he's got, worked out a deal with City of Lenore, because they're about a third of the price of what, Road Rooter and everything was charging us to clean the sewer line. We gotta get that at 10%, you know, and, he said he went and checked that. We've been, before, we always had to keep cleaning that greasy, you know, the grease out across, I mean, not the grease, anyway, out across the grease. We've hadn't been able to clean any of the other lines. Well, he worked with me about having this grease and stuff, you know, where they have so much, so he said, that line's real good, so we're gonna, he said they're gonna clean the, this one right here, the, what's the name of that?
Bushville? Or,
This development out through here.
It's Bushville.
Yeah, Bushville, not, because that's one of the oldest lines, they're gonna have them clean that down through there and back. And, this time, and, the City of Lenore said they would do it, and that were about, like I said, about a third of what Road Rooter was doing before. And, also, you want to tell them that, you want to clean the, Bush Hog right away will be next month. Tell people that, well, they'll know somebody's back there, there ain't nobody, doing no stealing or wrong or anything.
yeah.
We will. Here, you been doing well?
Or on, maybe they want to store that tractor in my car locker.
That's correct.
Ron, here's these. That's just, resolution that was passed last time, we could use something for us and them.
I rented the backhoe over at,
That's what you.
at the mobile now.
I guess my wife do the same thing.
Here, you and Pat's gonna plan on attending our Christmas. You and Pat's gonna plan on attending our Christmas party, aren't you? December 12th. 12th is to be on a Saturday night this year. And so,
I have a conflict.
seriously?
I rented one.
But depends on the time.
They were
I
Saturday,
may drive
out of the corner there.
Kids are away. Or we have,
They paid for half of it.
we have
I
another
know theirs.
it's the hospital foundation.
And then the guy in the middle of us, right out, so I was in here.
It's
You big man.
almost,
We could,
I don't know, they drive.
I hate we had a conflict, but, what time is your?
And I never expected.
and it's.
How you doing, Jerry?
You, start programming.
probably be in December.
Sure hope you.
I guess the second, I believe when I looked at it last time, you guys normally do on the second Wednesday of every month. So that would be it's second Tuesday.
He lived in his house on the rock.
Now, it could be in January, when it's in December. Right now,
I
it's
got more done. Was it Friday?
Tuesday.
I got more done Friday. That's
2 weeks
from
from
to go. I had one car
Yeah.
in the basement without paint,
Yeah.
so I couldn't do anything else in there. I had 3 upstairs. I just working in
There's probably, because we'll have a council meeting before the next plan, so it'll probably be 17 or 20, more than
Have
likely.
you heard back from?
I've heard back from 17. 17, and all 17 of them responded, filled out where I've got but there's 2 out right now that came in on Friday, and 1 came in today, who won't be in annexation, it's not called forms back, because they have their spouse to sign. So,
What about the
He's got one upstairs,
I've got one downstairs.
anybody that doesn't respond?
He had it upstairs.
I take it back to the plan.
we can, no, I don't think we don't have a property tax, I don't think we can involuntarily, from what I understand.
In place.
So, but that'd be a question for you to look at.
We do have, I know it's been talked about.
Yeah. Well, and there's another thing here that's gonna come up at some point, I'm not sure. There's a bunch of properties that are half in, or they've got a segment here, I don't know if I talked about that before or not, but, another problem is some of these that are applying, may break them up into 2 separate votes. Because some of them are small properties, half in, and they would meet the requirement if the neighbor was asking, because the neighbor is next to who's already, but I don't think they're gonna meet the requirement, across the street. And that first, their property's not in, 2/3 is, so, I'm gonna have to check on that first. The neighbor right now, they're not even going to see like the 10, 9 or 10 that
You strip it all the way down?
How many, and the other thing, you and I both know that's a Russian Lake Village.
not sure. I think actually, not me. I don't think, no, I would think because we put on sewer,
See,
people that weren't in the town.
even though Ralph is.
Unless they just gave us permission. Cook on, or
One of us, just our policy.
well, yeah,
He is.
so Jim Chandler, did you ever meet Jim? He was the last one. Jim Chandler. He was the interim manager for about 6 months. But he started that project where everyone who had access had firewall. So that they are all currently paying. Everyone has access that's not hooked on. So as far as these new properties, I don't think we would rent a sewer line. Now, I wasn't here, so I don't know. I don't think we
across the property house.
Well, sometimes it's more on the water.
We don't do
The way the sewer line is.
He works with.
Were they given access? I mean, I don't know if you remember or recall.
And
They were given access.
Perfectly just,
Federal relations.
and it was built
If
up
they
back
weren't
in.
in the town.
Everybody's aware of something. No church of shady.
Well, it's been a few years since the sewer project got 8 years, 8 or 10 years. Really? More like 12, 15 years.
Storage trays.
By the time it's finished,
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, it's been a while.
there's a street sign that says, you got to
The county replaces them all, but I'll tell her tomorrow. So such a tree.
And,
You're gonna come down,
Sign.
stand back on, cut across, and put it back on.
Sure.
Cross Street.
the cross street.
On the vacuum lines. It's been a few years now.
I'll get back in Count Street, says it's where most of these two we heard about.
Oh, okay.
And looks all big.
I know it's been replaced.
You want a donut?
That's when it really started.
We got free donuts. I buy them so people will eat them. You want one, get one.
I'll thank you, my wife is also.
see
And,
the same offices.
Not